Hi, everyone. Please bear in mind the last time I used a microphone was during karaoke, but hopefully it'll be okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to InfoSum's talk on delivering measurement in the privacy-first world. I'm Kate, Enterprise Sales Manager at InfoSum, and this is
Max, Director Customer Success at InfoSum.
For those of you who don't know, we are a UK company founded in 2015, which now has over 150 employees working across Europe, the US, and APAC. InfoSum is the world's first decentralized platform that delivers protection, privacy, and performance at maximum speed. Our secure data clean room is a neutral and protected environment that allows organizations to connect their data without the data ever actually being revealed or shared, eliminating the risk of exposure, leakage, or misuse. It allows companies to extract insights from multiple internal and external data sets, build powerful audiences to then activate at scale across multiple media owners, and to then measure the performance of those campaigns effectively. Oh, sorry, one tick. Do you know how to? Sorry.
It's on there. Just follow down.
Okay. Everyone is aware that there are a huge number of challenges facing marketers today, and everyone's trying to navigate the best way to work in the new privacy-first world. Changes in privacy regulations and the knowledge that consumers are losing trust in brands to protect their data and their privacy, especially given huge data leakage stories and documentaries around data breaches, has meant that data owners are becoming increasingly aware of the fact their owned data is their most important asset. And as a result, the potential loss of control of the data is becoming ever more concerning. This, as well as the deprecation of third-party cookies, has led to a loss in the scale of data available to marketers, which in turn makes insights, targeting, and measurement more difficult to achieve in the way we are used to. So it's fair to say there are lots of unknowns with where our industry is going. However, there are two things that we can definitely be certain of. Number one, the need for data clean rooms and for first-party data collaboration. And number two, there will always be the need to measure your campaigns effectively. Today, we'll explain how InfoSum's data clean room can enable you to deliver incrementality measurement in a privacy-first world, with a deep dive into a case study with Deliveroo and Channel 4. It's important to recognize that data-driven marketing as a whole is really a balancing act between privacy and performance. Regardless for the reason for change, the word privacy really matters at the moment, and we need to pay much more attention to it. However, in doing so, it does affect our ability to drive performance and measure effectively. One of the biggest issues that's not just limited to advertising is that effective measurement is limited by the amount of data you have access to. Current campaign measurement presents some challenges because of its high reliance on third-party cookies, a lack of identifiers that work across different channels or devices, and brands and media owners not being fully in control of how their data is being used and the campaign measured. A cookie has multiple facets when it comes to driving and measuring performance. In the new world we're working in, it really just isn't the same. So it's important to get the balance right, to drive and measure the performance we want and need from our marketing, but to do so in a way that respects the views of consumers, whether driven by regulation, technology, or consumer perception. Data clean rooms help to provide this balance, and InfoSum's secure data clean room is built with a balancing act between privacy and performance always front of mind. Data clean rooms are a secure environment where multiple data sources are matched and analyzed without sharing or compromising the data itself. This, therefore, removes the barriers to data collaboration previously spoken about and opens up opportunities for companies to use their first-party data to drive marketing initiatives. For example, powering a retail media network by leveraging a retailer's data set in combination with the publishers, or helping sports clubs increase their fan engagement and further assign their sponsorship deals. And most importantly, it enables more accurate measurement capabilities, which in turn can help brands and media owners better allocate their spend. Now I'm going to hand over to Max to showcase an example of how this works in practice.
In order to illustrate the data clean room's capabilities when it comes to measurement, we'll explore an example of incrementality measurement. For those of you not aware with the concept, what we're aiming to do with incrementality measurement is to compare the outcomes generated by a group of consumers exposed to a campaign, an advertising campaign, and the outcomes generated by what we call a holdout group that will not be exposed by the campaign. Those two groups share the same characteristics. It's just that one group is exposed, the other group isn't exposed. In order to do so, we'll be leveraging two different data sets. So usually we'll be having a brands data set that will contain the outcomes from the campaign. So those are the conversions that occurred during the campaign. This data set can be as granular as you want, or it can be as high level as you want, depending on what you're looking to measure as a brand. So for example, you could be looking at just the number of conversions, but you could also go into the value of those conversions, when they occurred, the value and the type of conversion, and any information that the brand has at hand that they're looking to analyze. The second data set that we'll be requiring is a publisher's data set. In this case, we're not looking at outcomes, we're looking at exposure data that the publisher will make available. We're going to be looking at the exposure data of two different groups, the group that was exposed to the ad and the group that wasn't exposed to the ad. The second group will always show 0, but it's important to have them in there for the matching process that occurs later down the line. So if we look at the diagram on the right side of the screen, we'll be comparing the publisher data set overlapped with the advertiser data set, so the blue and the white, and then a group between orange and white. So the users exposed to the ads and that converted or not, and users not exposed to the ad and that converted or not. When it comes to measurement, the data clean room technology and privacy enhancing technologies are the exact same that we use when we're driving first-party collaboration. We're just using it in a slightly different way. Throughout the course of Q1, we worked with Deliveroo and Channel 4 in order to run a measurement study via the platform using incrementality as the methodology. Deliveroo was looking to run an acquisition campaign, trying to acquire new users, drive them to download the app and sign up for their services. They were also keen to leverage their first-party data asset, in this case their existing customers, in order to negatively target them from the campaign to drive further marketing efficiency. They selected Channel 4's Brand Match product in order to run this campaign, and both companies were keen to use a platform or technology that would make sure that their data wouldn't be compromised or misused throughout the course of the campaign. I'm going to talk to you now a little bit more in detail about how this worked and try and explain as best as possible without going too technical. The solution that was put together was Deliveroo and Channel 4 running through our technology within the clean room space. So both parties selected us and leveraged the platform to upload their data in their respective bunker. So in the case of Channel 4, their user base, in the case of Deliveroo, their existing customer base. Both parties then stood up a clean room in order to run and overlap what we call at InfoSum an intersection between the two groups to understand the users that were common between both companies. This allows us to put together the group that is going to be negatively targeting from the campaign in order to drive marketing efficiencies, but also for Channel 4 to be able to understand better what makes a Deliveroo customer based on their data. On the basis of that overlap, Channel 4 is then able to put together a target audience that will be the users who will be targeted from the ad. One important step before the campaign runs is Channel 4 as the publisher has to put together two groups of users. We tend to put together what we call a control group, which will not be exposed to the ad, and that represents about 5 to 20% of the audience, and then the main group of users that will be exposed to the campaign and who will measure conversions from as well. Once the intersection is run and the campaign has run, we will regroup with the advertiser, with the publisher, and re-upload data into their respective bunker. The only thing that changes here is that the data sets are slightly different, in that the data set updated by the publisher will be based on exposure data to be able to show from the target audience which users were exposed to the ad, which users were not exposed. On the delivery side of things, as a brand, you're uploading all of your conversion data. This is all the conversion data that occurred during the campaign for us to be able to see who converted, whether or not they were exposed to advertising. Once both parties have uploaded their data, we stand up another clean room solution within which we will run the analysis. What we're looking to understand there will be the conversion rate difference between the group that was exposed to the ad and the group that was unexposed to the ad. For this particular campaign, the result was a 20% uplift, so an incremental uplift in conversion, sign up to Deliveroo, when users were actually exposed to the ads compared to when they were not exposed. So we take the baseline as the holdout group, so people who have not been exposed to the ad, and look at the conversion rate of those users, and then compare that against people that were actually exposed to the campaign to be able to understand what is the incremental uplift in conversion when running this type of activity. For Deliveroo, this means that they're able to understand the performance of this type of campaign, but they can also reuse it for future planning and gather insights across different media owners that they might be working with to drive this type of measurement. This is a powerful methodology and sort of like way of doing it via clean room technology, because the brand is actually using their own conversion data. So there's no third party involved running some attribution modeling in a black box environment. This is the brand providing their own conversion data, the media owner providing their own exposure data, and matching on that basis. There are many uses for this type of activity in terms of measurement. There's different ways that you can do it, but this was purely focused on measurement. Thank you for attending this session. We hope you found it insightful. You can download the case study on InfoSum's website. It's also available via the QR code on the screen right now. If you're interested in learning more about InfoSum, clean room technology, or measurement specifically, myself and Kate will be available at the InfoSum booth just on the other side of the event. And I think we've got time for questions, maybe?
Yes, brilliant. Thank you, first of all, for the presentation.
Thank you.
So first question, the question that we have here is around measurement. What are the sorts of measurements that you track through this? What are the types of measurements that you track?
So this presentation was focused on incrementality measurement, and that's all we talked about. But you could use the same methodology and technology in order to run what we call audience verification. So understanding which audience was reached during a campaign if you were targeting a specific subset of individuals. You could also run that for reach and frequency, and just a standard sort of measurement for conversion in comparison to exposed users.
Perfect. And if people want to continue the conversation, you said your booth is?
T77.
Okay, cool. Which is out this door and back across the...
Close to the food.
Cool. Brilliant. Perfect. Thank you much. Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Kate
everyone.
and Max.
Thank you.